If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Who? No, I said that. Batman is very wise.
The tyrant Superman has been locked away. The world can be free, but not free to return to what it was before the regime. It cannot be allowed to endure that again. It must change systematically to wipe out injustice from the starting point, not the end point. Bruce is challenged. How does he change the world for the better without being Superman? As the man he is now, it is not possible. A man lacking compassion, a man who is distant in every conceivable way, cannot bring upon Earth's light. Thankfully, the people around him know all too well. Jonathan Kent, Clark's father, confronts Bruce about this. He tells Bruce that Clark didn't need his upending morals. He needed understanding, an understanding that Bruce didn't provide. But not just Jonathan, but even in Lex's death, Lex gives the resources for Bruce to change the world, along with the advice with it, to expand his trust. But do not be so arrogant as to attempt this alone. No one wants a world molded into Batman's vision. Despite this, he cannot find compassion for Clark, not after what he's done. Bruce and Harley go to Stryker's Island, where Clark is locked up. Bruce enters the cell alone. Clark resents Bruce for abandoning him, but that doesn't matter anymore. The time is long gone now. He believes that the world will only fall with Bruce's control, especially since all of his family is dead. The ones that helped him feel compassion. Harley heard it all and tries consoling Batman. It doesn't work as he believes Clark was right. Bruce decides that he will make a council and listen to those around him. Just as Batman was about to ask Harley something, she leaves. Harley calls her sister, as today is Lucy's birthday. Lucy doesn't know that Harley is her mother. Her sister thinks that they should talk for the first time. Before this can occur, the alarm goes off, followed by an explosion. Amanda Waller has come to take Harley. She gets knocked out and wakes up in the Pentagon with an explosive in her head. Harley finds this humorous. She is friends with the guy who defeated Superman and his super friends. This little situation is child's play for him. Batman is on his way to free her as they speak. And here he is with the over-the-top entrance, and he pulls out his signature guns? So, not Jason Todd blasts a hole right in Waller's face. Anytime I see this woman harmed, it makes me happy. Not Jason takes control of the Suicide Squad and makes their way to the Pentagon. Before they can leave, Batman arrives and loses horribly to his Echo Fighter. He got packed up so bad, he got sent to the hospital. At the hospital, he was visited by Dinah Lance and Oliver Queen, two dead men walking. In my first video, I neglected to mention that after Dinah's death, Dr. Fate resurrected her and sent her and her son to a universe where Oliver's alive. Now that the Superman conflict is over and a new one is brewing, Dr. Fate has retrieved them both. This just really undermines their deaths, in my opinion. Speaking of individuals whose fate I forgot to mention, the Teen Titans are imprisoned in the Phantom Zone. In year 1, like Bruce, Superboy was not compassionate towards Clark. He held impossible standards towards him, to the point Superboy began seeing him as a villain and tried sending him to the Phantom Zone. He meant to go alone, but the rest of the Titans followed and fought Superman. Unfortunately, their power was not enough, and Connor received a fatal injury. His only hope was in the Phantom Zone, so Clark sent him there under the condition they all went. Of course, they cared too much about their teammate to decline. Back in the present, Stryker Island has lost all power. This is no happenstance. This is an attack. In Clark's cell, the red sun generator turns off. Despite him still under the effects, he begins making his escape. He is stopped by Batman. He had developed a win con in case of this event, that being listening to the voice inside his head. And no, not his conscious. The one of Adam, who is holding a kryptonite shard. Clark tries to fight back, which is stupid, but gets instantly incapacitated. Strangely, no one is coming to break out Clark. The individuals instead came for Damian, those being Talia al Ghul and Athansi al Ghul, his mother and sister. Mirror Batman and the Suicide Squad are causing a distraction, allowing them to escape. They all return to Raish's sanctuary, the last bastion of endangered species, both plants and animals alike. Amongst Raish are heroes Vixen and Animal Man, as well as the villain Poison Ivy. Raish is the big bad of the story. Superman was all about control. Raish is all about returning control to Earth from humans. He will sacrifice humanity till their control subsides. He explains all of this to Harley. Harley being reformed does not agree with the lengths he's willing to go. Raish knew this would be the case, so he kidnapped her daughter and is now threatening her life. But like, why though? What is so important about Harley to have at his side? She is just a reformed clown. Despite her daughter's life at stake, Harley starts lecturing him. He believes this to be hypocrisy. Given she nuked a city for fun, she didn't think it would have happened. It was a game then. The heroes were supposed to win and everything goes back to normal. She regrets that every day. Raish believes that she can be redeemed only through helping him. Classic manipulation. Batman begins building a circle of trust. He invites Oliver, Dinah, Black Lightning, Aqualad, Steel, the President, President-elect, Ted Cord, aka Blue Beetle, to a meeting. He invited those with morals and money to change the world at a fundamental level. Strangely, Ted hasn't arrived because he's currently being executed on TV. Raish has begun reclaiming the world by destroying the most environmentally damaged companies and their CEOs. Ted is one of those individuals. Despite all the good he has done to the world, he is not exempt. He and the others are mauled at the hands of Croc and Orca. Ted, bleeding out, gets visited by his best friend, Booster Gold, in his last moment. Booster is a time traveler, but he wasn't allowed to change this event. It has to happen for the sake of the future. They try to laugh it off, but they can't. It's the end. Ted's final words are to look after his successor, Jaime Reyes, the new Blue Beetle. Ted's death rattles our heroes to their core. Realizing that a war has begun, Oliver and Dinah get married. Since they already died once, they were not willing to wait, in case they die again. Unfortunately, Raish uses the gathering of the heroes and their families to kidnap the children. While this is happening, Damian dug up Alfred's corpse, the one man he truly respected. Raish uses the children as insurance that the Justice League won't stop him. Fortunately for the League, Batman chipped Connor. This action was done behind everyone's backs, including Oliver and Dinah, breaking their trust. Batman hasn't completely changed as it takes time. He still has his old tendencies. The League recruits Plastic Man and his son Luke. They also pick up Blue Beetle as he was adamant about joining to avenge his mentor. This team isn't being led by Batman as he violated their trust. Instead, Batgirl is leading. The day of the rescue coincides with the inauguration day. In case of an attack, Aqualad and Steel were left to watch. You'd think the sanctuary would be extremely hidden, but no, just a bunch of ninjas in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Very stealthy. As the team enters, except Blue Beetle, Raish destroys the entrance, trapping them inside. Fortunately, they quickly find Harley and the children. They plan to use the teleporter to get the children out, but are stopped by Timu Batman. He just says screw it and activates the bomb in Harley's head. It failed due to our favorite small man, Adam, deactivating it. Bootleg Batman resorts to using his guns. Wildcat stalls him so the children can escape. In doing so, he lost his life. With the children free, Batman makes his way to the resurrected Alfred. When people are brought back by Lazarus, a part of them is missing. The amount missing is determined by how long they were dead for. In Alfred's case, it was likely 5 years. Batman didn't want this for Alfred. To be brought back a broken man, forced to live again for Damian's grievance. Alfred doesn't move when Batman finds him. Just a husk of a man, only with the capacity to breathe. Damian argues with his father. He believes Bruce let him die and stay dead because it allows him to justify his actions. With it, he can be a cold, depressed man who pushes others away. This couldn't be further from the truth. Damian can only think of himself a spitting image of Bruce. A fight breaks out, but it's so heavily one-sided. Alfred, seeing his family fighting, ignites his conscience, and he puts an end to this. Raish makes his way to them. Despite Alfred not being fully there, he understood all that was being said by Raish. He believes in Raish's goal but cannot agree with the means. He knows that Raish can save the world the right way if he works with Bruce. Just as it seems an alliance will be formed, Blue Beetle crashes the party. They were trapped for so long he became scared and blew away in. This act leads to the destruction of the sanctuary and all the endangered species residing with it. Any hopes of Bruce and Raish's alliance are over because of a simple mistake. If that wasn't bad enough, Aqualad floods the inauguration, flooding both the president and president-elect. He is a double agent for Raish. Raish escapes to the second hideout, Gorilla City. There, his cooperator, Solivar, gets Amazo ready to be used. Amazo is the ultimate android, capable of wiping humans without casualties of other life. So powerful that even the League won't be able to stop it. Damian goes to Kahndaq to acquire the aid of Black Adam. He is hesitant. He respects Damian and understands his cry for help, but he must protect his home. For Black Adam, his home is the most important thing in his life. During their greeting, Damian caught a glance of a girl. A Supergirl.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
She recently had came to Earth, and Black Adam was the first to find her. He fed her lies about this world, being that if Superman is the hero and Batman is the villain. Later that day, Damian finds Kara and tries speaking to her. Black Adam does not want anyone finding out about Kara being Kryptonian, so much so that he threatens Damian. This action leads to Damian finding out she's Kryptonian as she saves him. Damian is having second guesses about his grandfather's plan. He doesn't want people to die, he just wants to save them. At the same time, he feels obligated as Raish is his grandfather. He ended up staying with Black Adam and Kara till they freed Wonder Woman. Raish and Solivar released Amazo in Williams, Arizona, killing everyone. Just a simple trial run, killing thousands. 2 pets were left behind. A puppy, soon to be Ace the Bat Hound, and the other is Dexter, a cat filled with so much rage after his family was murdered, leading to him receiving a Red Lantern ring. The Justice League in its current state cannot take on Amazo. They need more heroes, but the remaining heroes are already part of the League. Catwoman reveals the Titans are alive in the Phantom Zone, her sole purpose in this story. She literally just pops out of nowhere and then disappears. Arriving at the Fortress of Solitude, they are greeted by the Kents. They have chosen here to hide away from the world, as being the parents of a former dictator kind of makes you a huge target. They only retrieve Tim, Wonder Girl, and Starfire, as Superboy won't survive outside of it. Now with Tim back, we can have a dynamic duo. Finally, something wonderful. It seems I spoke too soon. I hate you, Tom Taylor, and how dare you bring back Tim underrepresented Robin and then kill him by... Well, that's dead for this. Sorry for that outburst. Zod has escaped. Batman does not hold back. He uses a power armor that shoots out Kryptonian fear toxin, and he puts belt to ass on Zod. Amazo interrupts the fight and insta-kills him to show how gangsta he is and leaves. What a Chad. Now that they have a Kryptonian corpse, they can use Zod's heart to replace Superboy's. Convenient they both have the same blood type. Raish sends Amazo to wipe out the citizens of Delhi, India. This city was chosen as it was one of the most populated areas in the world. The League and the Titans try to fight off Amazo, but they're powerless against the machine. Adam tries to destroy it from the inside. It is using Brainiac tech. This is bad. If his tech is around, then he is not too far away. Unfortunately for Adam, Amazo has an inner self-defense protocol that kills him. Damian, Vixen, and Animal Man can't stand for this any longer. They didn't think Raish would go this far. They tried to get to the creator, Dr. Ivo, to shut down the machine. The Arkham Knight stops them. To reveal that he's really Jason! No way! Who could have guessed? Unfortunately, Ivo can't. If he could, he would have. He never wanted to work for Raish. He only did so to keep his family safe, of which they never were. He was lied about their status. They have been dead the whole time. The remnants of the regime and Flash come to help. It still isn't enough. He must be... Their only hope of victory is held in the hands of Kara. In an instant, she sweeps him up to the moon. Blue Beetle follows, and good thing he did, as she was about to die. Together, they eviscerate that clanker. Now, only Blue Beetle and Damian are aware of Kara's existence. Damian and crew escape from Gorilla City, except for Animal Man, who was found and killed. Why they gotta kill that goat like that? While the Justice League are cleaning up Delhi, Brother Eye alarms Batman that Wayne Manor is under attack. Alfred and Ace are being held at gunpoint by his daughter, Athancia. She blames Bruce for never being there for her, not even when she died. She doesn't understand that her father never knew. All while this is happening, Ace is barking, and Athancia is getting agitated. She loses it, and shoots the dog. Sometimes I just hate injustice, man. Before any more casualties can ensue, Catwoman calls the League for help. Oh, she actually did something. Athancia is sent to prison and Alfred visits her. While not being blood-related, he sees her as his own granddaughter. He wishes to get to know her. Crazy how Alfred is doing a better job than Bruce once again. After the events of Amazo, we hop on a bit of a side story. Hal Jordan has been sent to recolonize a planet as punishment for his crimes, alongside Sinestro. This is a new low for these two. Hal is so guilty of his actions that he hallucinates Guy Gardner, and Sinestro is completely powerless. Atrocitus hates Sinestro and uses the moment of vulnerability to attack him. A battle breaks out between the Green Lanterns and Red Lanterns, leading to the death of one of the Reds. Hal capitalizes on this by taking the ring and fighting off the Reds, allowing the others to escape. Atrocitus had developed a contingency in case this happens. He recruits Staro the Conqueror, a being that destroys entire galaxies. A little overkill if you ask me. Staro the Conqueror is bad news. An incredibly powerful, made stronger being threatens all life in the universe. so the all-knowing new gun Metron pays the main man Lobo to kidnap Blue Beetle. The previous user of the Scarab had defeated Staro, and Metron wants it to happen again. Also, Booster and the Titans follow Lobo. With everyone informed of what's at stake, they are teleported to the battleground, Oa. Atrocitus lets Hal join, but he is only joining as to not be killed. When on their way, he speeds in front of everyone, getting to Oa first. He tries informing them of the incoming invasion, but they don't trust him. Hal cuts off his finger, like, what the hell, man? Wearing the ring to change that. Sadly, this doesn't change anything, as they are already here. The Red Lanterns are absolutely crushing the Green Lanterns to the point where they need to give Hal a ring, and even the scummy Sinestro. These two, being the best of the best, turn the tide. In ending this battle, Sinestro sacrifices himself, dying a hero. So that's cool. It also helps that Staro left for Earth. Jaime doesn't know if he can stop Staro. He completely messed up in Brazil. Good thing he has Booster. Booster reveals the reason he couldn't save Ted was because Jaime can't defeat Staro if Ted is still around. This helps Jaime find the confidence to take on Staro. In order to defeat Staro, Jaime must sacrifice himself, as the Scarab must attach itself to Staro, leaving Jaime in the deepest space. Booster doesn't let that happen by giving Jaime the oxygen mask as the Scarab departs. Somehow, Jaime doesn't die in the extreme cold of space, now wearing a spacesuit. Heavily convenient. This leads to the end of Booster. In his final moments, an earlier version of Ted spends his last moments with him. Ultimate bromance. He was brought by Time Paradox Booster Gold. Paradox Booster Gold didn't just come to this time period for himself, but our favorite super couple. Superboy and Wonder Girl were chasing one of the Red Lanterns. The chase took them far enough away from Oa that they were attacked by Brainiac. By analyzing Connor, he deduces that a living Kryptonian is on Earth. Then discards Connor as he is a clone, and discards Wonder Girl as she isn't cool enough, I guess. As they're about to die in space, they are saved by Booster and the Legion, a team from the future inspired by Superboy. Alfred sees that with the way things are going, the cycle of violence will continue. He convinces Bruce that he must create peace with Raish despite all the murder. Bruce understands, but does not do it alone. He invites the world leaders to speak on such a matter. As soon as the meeting begins, demands are made. The US wants Aqualad to stand trial in America. Atlantis refuses. Batman wants Raish to face justice. This leads to Raish beginning to leave. Atlantis doesn't want him to leave and threatens him with force. Just as the fight is about to break out, Ivy ensnares all of them. With all of them in their seats, Harley begins reasoning with them. Quite the bizarre individual to be doing so, but not that weird given the real world leaders are pedophiles. She suggests having a 1-month grace period, no wars, and no one is held accountable yet. They work with unity to devise a solution to their issues. This is surprisingly effective, and the world leaders agree. Shame it won't last long, as Brainiac's invasion has begun. Brainiac has infiltrated all of Earth's technologies, including Brother Eye. He has cemented an allegiance with Gorilla Grodd. Grodd, as of the moment, is an outcast with a small group. In order to get the power required of Brainiac, Grodd stages a coup on Gorilla City. Using his monstrous telepathic abilities, he takes out the guards surrounding the city. After breaking in, he runs into Raish. Grodd despises all humans, especially Raish, as he is a human on the same standing as gorillas. He takes Raish and drags him along while he dismantles everything he has worked for and takes the throne. His first act as king is forcing Raish to kneel as Grodd crushes his head. An absolutely devastating death. The way that Tom Taylor ends up finishing this comic is by having Alfred leave, as he feels like he is a liability towards Bruce. The Injustice prequel comic is a beautiful continuation of the series. It brings into question how to make the world a better place without dictatorship. Once again, it has Batman being the opposing force to the radicalist villain, although this time he learns from his mistakes and does better by being a better person. While not a monumental change, it is a great start. The game in itself feels like a different story to that being told in the prequel comics. And being that I wouldn't count it as a continuation, not even for years 1 to 5. It most likely is only a continuation of the first game given how it contradicts previous events. At the beginning of the game, we get shown the event where Nightwing dies. Except he isn't here to die, Damian doesn't look 14, and he sides with Superman only after arriving with Bruce. We then have a scene of Lucius telling Bruce that he needs to open a circle of trust. Later in the story, he proceeds to do it with 0 issues. I love instant character development. Also, Diane and Oliver came here from another universe, but not to stay, only to help Batman, which makes me wonder why in the later parts of the game do they not get good Superman? They have the technology. Too easy of a win, I guess. What does stay aligned with the comics is Grodd's alliance with Brainiac. The Justice League aren't aware of Brainiac yet, so they believe Grodd is waging war because of hatred alone. They don't keep this mystery for very long as they introduce him as soon as they invade Gorilla City. Brainiac captures Diane and Oliver, seemingly for the sole purpose of exposition. He unveils that his goal in life is to obtain all knowledge in the universe, then to discard any remnants of the knowledge so that it gains increased value. Superman, being alive, carries the information that he wants discarded. Proceeds to launch a global attack on Earth. The attack being so devastating, Flash, who is under parole, uses his powers to save the masses. Strangely, he gets interrupted by Reverse Flash. I get that this is a fighting game, but him being here is so stupid. He is literally just conflict for the sake of conflict. Speaking of which, Hal joins the Justice League. I have no clue why Batman would trust a man complicit in genocide, but okay. Hal then goes to recruit Aquaman. Aquaman thinks he can take Brainiac alone, so they fight, just because. If that wasn't bad enough, it gets worse after Hal wins. Atrocitus spawns in out of nowhere because he too wants to fight Hal.
You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
Just as quick as he arrives, he leaves. Kara, Black Adam, and Wonder Woman see the Brainiac invasion as the perfect distraction to get Superman. Batman had envisioned this and had two guards posted there, Blue Beetle and Firestorm. The regime quickly freed their other members, first to give them the upper hand on Blue Beetle and Firestorm. This leads to Firestorm deciding that the only way to stop them is by nuking all of Metropolis. You cannot be serious. The event that created the regime. He just wants to do that all over again. This dude is supposed to have the brain of a genius. Thankfully, Batman stops this and frees Superman. This is not the same guy. Just get alternate universe Superman. You do not need this genocidal tyrant dictator dude. Kara fights with Wonder Woman on the front lines. Wonder Woman attempts to kill Cheetah, then Harley. Kara realizes that this entire time she'd been fed lies about their actions. The regime are the villains, not Batman. She confronts Superman, but he tries to justify the unjustifiable. In this moment, she would argue with him, but with the greater conflict at hand, she must wait till after. With everything in motion, the Justice League claps Brainiac. Now that the danger is gone, Clark and Bruce are arguing. They need to reclaim the cities that Brainiac has taken, but their methods of wanting to do so are different. Clark wants Brainiac dead, even if it means the cities won't be able to be saved. Bruce wants to keep Brainiac alive as a contingency. This leads to a big fight. In the game you have a choice. Choose Superman and he enslaves the Earth, including Batman using Brainiac tech, or choose Batman and Superman gets sent to the Phantom Zone. We all know that Batman ending is almost certainly canon, so then what was the purpose of the story? All they did was have a super strong villain who required the might of Superman so he can return and be immediately sent to prison? What did this do for any of the characters? This doesn't even push the plot forward as it just leaves us in the same place as Injustice 1. The worst part is they're making Injustice 3, and if it's anything like Injustice 2, it will be a mess. I have no hope that they will continue Tom Taylor's story, but instead bring in someone like Darkseid. They again will have to free Superman to fight the threat. He then wants to use the anti-life equation to slave the universe, and then loses to Batman being sent back to prison. Mark my word. It is such a shame, as everything leading up to this game was great. The conflict between the immovable Batman and the wavering Superman. Once great friends, unable to change their values, leading to a time of war. With the war over, Batman was forced to reevaluate himself, to becoming something better. The seeds were in place. A pity it ended this way.